I don't know how to turn the computer phone off yet. Shoot.
Hello, everyone. It is Suzanne Hart here. It is another Fit, Fab, and Fulfill Mindset Mastery conversation. This one is a health and mindset focused one. And so let's see who has joined us. Hi, Roz. Yeah, you got a fan. Wendy Roz is here. She's like, I know she's like, oh, Wendy Ida, I'm gonna go check this out. Hey, Roz, how are you? She's like, thanks for inviting me. So before we get started, please let us know that you can hear me. So just, you can hear us, you can see us, we're looking fab, right? Thank you, Roz. So we're all cool. We're looking good. So let's see who's out there. Oh, bam, Roz. Uh-oh. Did we just lose Wendy? So I'll keep talking till she pops back on. So today I'll be speaking with none other than Wendy Ida. Now, let's see who is out there. I see Charia. She's saying good evening, ladies. Wendy's back.
Okay.
We are having some fun with technology today. So Charia is saying hello everyone. So we've got some people joining us, so we'll give a moment. Now, as everyone is joining on, this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful conversation. And if you are a woman who is, the years are beginning to roll by, and you're having a conversation in your head about that, this conversation is definitely for you. So what I'm going to ask you to do before we get started is, first of all, if you're arriving, type in the comment section where you're from, what you do, and if there's anything you'd like to ask Ms. Beautiful Wendy, I'm going to introduce her. So just type that in, because we'll be coming back to the comment section. Second thing I'm going to ask you to do is to bless some friends. So this is going to be an amazing conversation. And so if you know of a friend who may be committed to their health, struggling with their health, thinking about aging and having a conversation that doesn't serve them, just a sister girlfriend that you think, oh, I'm going to bless her with this conversation, bless 5 people. So take a moment and share with 5 people, invite 5 people to participate. Tell them we have Miss Wendy Ida in the house and they do not want to miss this conversation. They got to lay eyes on her. They got to look at her. So I'm going to start by Dallas to author, consultant, grandmother. You got a fan, Wendy.
Thank you.
Roz is here. Roz is here. All right. Cindy's in the house. She's saying hello, ladies. So let me introduce my guest. And first of all, I got to tell you, I met this beautiful sister about 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And she sashayed up in her Wendy way to my booth and we just started having a conversation. And then casually, she said to me that she was, I think at that point she was like 64. And I said, excuse me, I don't think I heard you properly. And she said, oh yeah, I'm 64. Well, you know, now conversations happening. I want to know more. We hit it off and we've been back and forth with phone calls. We've presented together. We've brainstormed together. We've had weekly accountability calls together because I got to be honest, I was totally inspired. I thought I was rocking it. And then I met Wendy and I was like, ooh, now I'm just totally, totally inspired. So let me introduce this woman. So my guest is a 8 times, not 1 time, not 2 times, but 8 times fitness champion. So, you know, she knows how to get into shape. And she is a 2 times Guinness Book World Record holder. She is a speaker. She is a coach. So if you want to take back your life, this is the lady that will help you do so. She is beautiful on the outside, but she's so beautiful on the inside. Wendy is fun and more fun, but she's also no joke, right? This is a woman who takes commitment seriously. When she decides to do something, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about, it is on. She's going for it. And she's just lovely. I just, when we hang out, I just totally enjoy. We've had some great girls conversations. So Wendy, Miss Wendy Ida, it is so
Hey, baby doll. Hi, baby doll. I am so excited. It's always great talking with you. I love lifting people up, especially women. So I'm always excited to be of service. So a little about me for those who don't know. I come from humble beginnings. I am excited to be where I am because of where I came from. So I'm a domestic violence survivor, and I was in a marriage that I was trapped in for 13 years. I didn't know if I was going to live. In fact, I didn't think that I was going to live past the age of 43. I was overweight. I had gained 80 pounds, and I just didn't think that I had any choices. I didn't think I had any alternatives to do better. But one day I managed to escape for the third time, and the third time was successful, but I ran across the country with my 2 babies and only the clothes on our backs to start over again.
Wow.
I am so excited that I made that decision because I know in my heart that it saved my life. And I know I wouldn't be here if I hadn't done that. But it was a question at that time, and the straw for me was my children. I saw how my children were being affected, and I knew that I couldn't live with that, to have their lives go down, because I loved them more than myself at that time. I had no confidence. I was sick all the time. Even when in my transition, I moved all the way across the country, even at least 5 years after that, I was still afraid of my own shadow and afraid that what happened would reoccur, or that I would be taken back to where I was as a prisoner. So that's how I winded up here on the west side of the country. And I never forget that. But the thing that turned me around was I met my earth angel. My earth angel was a fitness professional. I knew nothing about, when I moved to California, it was everybody's doing this, so let me do it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't. So I just did like everybody else. Nothing was changing. I had the attitude of, well, my family, my mom and her sisters, they're overweight, and I'm destined to be that. My sister and I had many conversations. This is how it's going to be. And this earth angel helped me turn that around. He said, you can be better. And so it was a matter in the beginning of, do I trust this person? Well, I didn't, not really. But I thought, what the heck? Give it a shot, and I'll get them off my back, and I'll just do this and be done. Well, to my surprise, it turned a light on in me. My body started doing a little dance, something different than it had before. So that was the beginning of a new start in my life. At that time, at the age of 43, is when I started. The age where I didn't think I was going to live to see. I began living for the very first time. I started pushing my body. I started learning everything I could. and my whole world changed. My body changed. My career changed. I come from 20 years of corporate accounting. I disposed of that. And I became this fitness professional. It gave me so much joy. And I started pushing my body more. I entered my first bodybuilding competition, in fact, at the age of 57.
Wow.
3 top trophies, and now I'm an 8-time national champion. At 60,
so at 57.
At 57. So my mind, I started living for the very first time. So my mind was like, you can do this. You can push. Wait, you did that? This is possible. I had options suddenly, and I was very excited about it. And at 60, it was on my bucket list that I wanted to earn a Guinness World Record. And at 60, I had to do 30 burpees in a minute to set the record. I did 37. Woo! I was pumped. And then the other one was awarded to me for being the oldest active instructor trainer in multiple disciplines. So that's the key, in multiple disciplines. So then after that, I wrote my book, Take Back Your Life, my no-nonsense approach to health, fitness, and looking good naked, and just kept soaring after that. I am so excited that I made that decision that changed my entire life, and I keep pushing the limits, and I got some that I'm currently working on.
So I love the way she drops that, like, kind of secret. I got something I'm currently working on.
Yeah.
And so, you know, one of the things I wanna ask you. So first of all, just so that everybody gets the context of this conversation, you are presently 66 years young.
Yes, I am. And that's what I was about to say. I am so pumped. Next week, a week from today, I will be 67. May 3rd is my birthday. Ooh. So I'm so excited because the entire month of May is better than Christmas for me. I take the whole month. I do all kinds of stuff. I give all kinds of specials, and I just make it a party online. And I changed from yesteryear of where, you know, how we used to sit back and say, oh, so-and-so didn't remember my birthday. I stopped that a long time ago. And I started just reaching out, calling everybody all over the world. It's like, today's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Hey, what can we do? What can we talk about? What can I help you with? So I just get excited like that. And so it's been a tradition for me to celebrate from May 1st to May 31st. So look out, y'all.
It's time. It's time. And I remember the celebration last year because we were having some conversations, and every day was a party. Yeah. Every day. And I kept popping online and seeing those Wendy videos.
Yes.
Right, those birthday videos. So, but you said something that I really want to start the conversation with. Yes. You said every day is a party, and you celebrate your whole month of turning 67, right? Mm-hmm. And you and I both know that there are women out there and some men who their birthday's approaching, and for some of them it's a time of depression, it's a time of sadness, it's a time of, oh my gosh, I'm getting older. And we both have this conversation. I party, my birthday's like the time to celebrate, party, and I don't do a month. I might take that on. I do a week or two, but I might take on the whole month. Like my birthday's in December, so I should party just right up till I, you know.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right? Mm-hmm. But you and I both have this concept of celebrating. So what is going on in your head that you have looked at it as, this is a day for me to celebrate. This is not a day for me to worry about aging. It's not a day for me, but it's really a day for me to celebrate. So what's different for you?
I woke up like this. I'm saying I woke up, not like this, but I woke up this morning and I feel blessed. It's not, it, you are wasting your time and your life and the energy that you could be using to create. So I wake up with that in mind, not just on my birthday, not just birthday all month, but every day I am just grateful, and I keep that attitude and stay positive all year round. It's just that in May, it's just hypersensitive and hyper party. But I'm grateful. I think that is it. And I feel blessed. I have another chance to get it right. I have another chance to create. I have another chance to serve. I have another chance to do God's work. And that's exciting. And the more I do it, and the more I push the envelope, the better it gets. And the one thing that keeps me going in that direction, because life has its curveballs, okay? But the one thing that keeps me going in that direction is that I have a conversation with myself. And that conversation, even with life's curveballs, keeps me pumped. Even with people chattering in my ear that may be a little negative, or say you can't do that, or that's never been done before. Even with the TV and the radio talking all this bad news and negative stuff going on, that can bring you down in itself.
Absolutely.
I have a conversation with myself and I count my blessings. And that's right there.
And, that's so powerful, because one of the things they say, research has said that for those people who live from a place of gratitude, right, often have the experience that you're having, waking up every day to be grateful. And I think when you live in a place of gratitude, you become grateful for the small things, and the small things compound. But I think the other thing that's really key, because I know for myself, in my 40s, I also had a turning point, my late 30s, where I looked at my life and I could not believe where my life was. And then suddenly I began to make the shift. And my gratitude is the opportunity, as you said, to be different. And I think what I want to, everyone that's listening to understand is today's your day, right? If stuff's happening and life's come down your street and shit happens, let's just be real, right? Today's your day. You could say, yeah, that was yesterday. And I've been living in the pity party. I've been living in the I don't know. I've been living in the fear. But today's the day. And you can wake up tomorrow when you put your feet on the ground and your feet hit the floor. You could say, I am so grateful for today, and I'm going to make today count in a new way, because that's what I'm really hearing you say, is you are so appreciative for that truck across the country to be safe, sound, and you're reclaiming what you thought you were never going to have.
Exactly. So, I mean, if change is going to happen all the time, right? We can't stop that. I've had a huge change this past year. But we go through the hallway of change, and because change is scary, it can get you down if you try to push it away, or you try to not accept change like
Absolutely.
that. That has a huge effect on your body, your mind, your soul. It will keep you down in a hole. And I choose not to be there. And it's a choice. All you have to do is choose. Hey, but I'm not saying it's easy, because it ain't.
No, it's not. It's not. And Wendy, don't you? I know for myself, I love the way you said there's a story you tell yourself, right? And for me, I got stories, girl. There's stories I tell myself. There's exit strategy stories, right? And so when things aren't going my way, or our life isn't showing up the way I designed it, because, you know, we both like to control and plan things. So when things aren't happening that way, one of the things, the story I tell myself is, this is absolutely perfect, because there's something I'm meant to learn. There's something that I'm supposed to grow into. There's something that there, and sometimes I remind myself that I wasn't supposed to be in that place, in that space at that time, because there's something better. And I don't know what it is, but I wasn't supposed to be there. It wasn't my time. So for me, it is all the lens and the interpretation of the stuff.
Yes.
That is the story. And I think what you're really highlighting is, we all, because you said you choose it. So we all get to choose the story we tell ourselves. So your story is not, woe is me, poor me, oh my gosh, look at my first 40 years, I'll never. Your story is like, oh my gosh, I am blessed. I've been given a new lease on life, and I'm going to max it out.
And this is where I'm supposed to be. I make choices. Everyone makes choices. There's always forks in the road, but there's some things that just happen. And that's to divine intervention. I can't even say it. Intervention, right?
Yeah, baby.
It's divine. And so sometimes those are things you have to accept and make something nice out of it to fit you, something that you can control in a sense, because you can't control everything in life. But when I look at it like that, I can find, during the hallway of change, I find little joys along the way. Those little things, and it can be small things that you can control. It could be a small thing such as making my bed the way I want to, or getting a candle and meditating. Ooh, that gives me peace. It can be whatever it is, something that gives you joy, to monitor that hallway of change until you find the new road and the new normal of where you're supposed to be.
Well said. Well said. Mm-hmm. You know, Wendy, one of the things that we do a survey every week, depending on who our guest is. And one of the myths that I ask people is, I gave a list of 5 myths about aging. And one of the things that the 2 top ones was, when I age, I believed that I would naturally gain weight. And when I age, I believed that I would lose my beauty. Right? Now, Wendy and I have had over time some way juicy conversations on these 2 things. Right?
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, okay, I have to have Wendy on to have this conversation publicly. And so one of the things we talked about was beauty.
Yeah.
Right? So can you share with everyone your relationship to being beautiful? And you are stunning and you are gorgeous. But I think there's a relatedness to beauty that you have that I think shifts how you show up in the world.
Yeah. And so let me just say flat out, because I prefer to go inside of me. And for me, those are the best compliments. That's what I work on. And I strive every day to be better and to do the right thing that will also enhance my life and serve the way I was supposed to while putting me here on earth. The first thing I do in terms of beauty, I go inside and I try to have integrity. I try to be loyal. In every bad thing that has happened in my life, I try to find the good in it, mm-hmm. and the lesson in it. I also enjoy feeling great. I want to look my best. Most people want to look their best. Mm-hmm. So I work on it to to really um to really make me feel good. It's really it really boils down to uh how you want your life to look and feel. And
Oh, come and write that down. We get to choose how we want our life to look and
and
feel.
yeah, yeah. So I wanted to I want to build myself to be the best that I can be all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it looks crazy. Sometimes I'm silly. So, but I'm doing me, boo.
Now there you
So,
go. There you go. And what's wonderful about this, Wendy, is that I know when we had the conversation and we were like, you too, you have this conversation, and I said to you, I believe that I'm going to age like fine wine, right? Like I am like a bottle of fine wine, and
yeah,
so I'm not concerned about the number because I believe I get better as the years roll by. I'm saying that because it's also an attitude. It's a belief system, right? And one of the things at my retreat this year, we talked about that beauty doesn't go away.
yeah,
It gets more profound if you understand what it is.
yeah,
And I love the fact that you're saying beauty is an internal way of being that shows up in your external energy, in your external swagger, in your external way you walk, in your external. It's a belief system
yeah,
of who you are, how much you love yourself, how much you respect yourself, what value you think you bring to the planet, and your care and respect for who you are just because you exist, not because of anything you accomplish, but get this, just because I exist.
yes. You deserve that. You are worthy. Things in life make you feel unworthy. People in life make you feel unworthy, as I was. And that's why I was a victim of domestic violence at that time. I didn't feel like I had options and didn't feel like I was worthy. Um, Through the process of being authentic to you and doing you and doing it in a way that makes you feel good, you start to trust yourself
Mm-hmm,
and
you
you start
do.
to build from there. And there's where your confidence starts to creep up. And that's where everything blossoms and you get that spirit inside that makes you look beautiful.
Absolutely. And I think part of what I know for myself is when I started this journey and I really started to embrace who Suzanne is in the world and who I was meant to be in the world, I really had to grapple with my need to be perfect.
Mm.
Right?
Mm.
And
Mm. Yeah.
right.
Woo! Yeah.
Needed to grapple with my need to be perfect so I could actually be great.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because on the journey to perfection, as you know, there's failures, there's fall downs, there's looking bad, there's mistakes, there's bumping up against stuff you didn't want to bump up against, there's bumps and bruises, and really understanding that those bumps and bruises, all that journey, it creates me, but it doesn't define me.
Absolutely.
Right? So
Absolutely.
I'm not defined by my failures. I'm caused as a result of my failures. I'm created as a result of my failures. Because every time I rise, and if you understand this, every time I rise, I become more beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. And I agree with that because I've talked to so many. I've coached a lot of women who don't feel beautiful. They don't feel like they're enough.
Mm.
They feel like they can't do it just because they were told they couldn't. And I say their truth, their judgment on you is not your truth.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that just is a process of building within yourself that you're not perfect. None of us are. But and you have to know that you are good enough. that you are worthy. And here's the key. You have to tell yourself that, because if you're in this disbelief stage and you're over here in this pocket of not believing and not feeling worthy, you have to I go back to the self-talk, because I know it works for me. You have to talk to yourself over and over, telling yourself you deserve this. I am worth. You start believing it after a while. You'll build up, just like anything in the gym. You're doing curls, or you're trying to sing, or given that you halfway can sing.
Or dance, because I know I see you, or dance, right?
Right, but you get what I'm saying. So anything takes practice, skill. If you're in any sport, it takes practice, and emotional things, self-talk, and believing it is no different. You build it up to get better, but you have to start somewhere. And that's what women always ask me, where do I start? I can't tell you how many times I get that. Start by the thoughts, because your thoughts become your actions.
Absolutely.
And strangely, well, not strangely to me, but we are run mostly by our subconscious, not our conscious. Our engine goes on by what our subconscious is telling us. And that's why you have to do that self-talk, to talk to that self-conscious, to make a change.
And you know, Wendy, what's really powerful is you know, you're talking about our thoughts, and I want to dial it back a bit and talk about our influences, right?
Yeah.
And one of the conversations I always get is, how do you stay fit all the time, right? And at first it was like, well, I'm committed to it, flat out. I'm committed to it. I don't consider anything else. That's my commitment. I don't think about anything other than my vision that I have for how I'm gonna look and I don't think about anything else. I'm committed to that. But this is the other thing that is so key, and this is probably why we gravitate to each other, is what I began to realize is my influences are all people that are committed to health. So I surround myself with people who are in the same conversation.
Absolutely.
Right? And anybody who joins this conversation, they're going to shift, because and what I began to realize is I have healthy friends, and I've always only pretty well had healthy friends. And I only kind of choose healthy friends. And because health is one of my core values. And if you were on the mastermind experience, we talked about those core values. My health is one of my core values. So if you don't align with that core value, and it's not about how you look,
absolutely,
per se, it's about what you're committed to. And you could be on the journey, but your commitment is in alignment. So for me, my influences hold me to that. So when if I'm going to get up at 6, I know if I'm with friends, it's going to be like 2 of us getting up and working out. I'm not going to be myself. If I'm going to go do something, I know someone's going to come and say, let's go. I'm going to push you. My influences create that environment for me.
And on the contrary, it will do the same. If you don't have the right people around you, right, you're not going to be motivated to do better. But I want to just mention this. And you and I have talked about this before, about external and internal people and influences and all, huge. So the first thing is building up, being around people where you want to go, and where you want to be. I've had the misfortune in my life and past too, to be around people who pull me down.
Oh, me and you both, girl.
It feels like a dark day all the time, and I had to separate myself from that. Likewise, where I am today with people like yourself, even, it gives me joy every day to have, exactly what you said, these kind of people around, because you
Mm-hmm.
grow and you stay lifted. And I am no different from anybody else. I can be pulled down as well. I can be sabotaged if I let people do that to me. I
Absolutely.
can give in to people saying, well, you can't do that. It's never been done. But I choose to make a different choice, to do
Absolutely.
something different.
Absolutely.
And with the self-talk and the belief and the push forward, I keep amazing myself. But any one of you can do this. Anyone can do this. It's changing that mindset, pushing through those, keeping healthy influences around you that lift you up. It's hard. Nobody said it's easy. It's hard for me too. But then you start to have that, then you start to build confidence, and you can start to build some internal motivation for yourself.
And don't you also know that I know for myself, particularly when I was competing, when I did my first few contests, I was like, this is crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when my coach wrote me my first meal plan,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, am I supposed to train on this? Are you kidding me? But this was the amazing thing, and this is what we're talking about, mindset here.
Yeah.
It was the challenge of seeing how far my body could go. It was a challenge of mind over matter. It was a challenge of me setting a goal and achieving it and surpassing it and going and moving. And I think, what's beautiful about when you overcome the I can't, when you overcome the that's impossible, when you overcome the I can't do that, the sense of accomplishment, the new sense of self-worth, the new sense of who you are, it's worth all of it.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. And this is what I say to people who are not there yet, because everybody's in a different stage. Breaking it down, I say, be risque. If you're not risque, you're not going to grow. But also be patient with yourself. Give yourself a chance.
Oh, be risky.
That's important.
I'm gonna steal that, Wendy.
Say what?
I'm gonna steal that. Be risque, but be patient.
So that's me. I'm risque. This time I don't get. You can't get. But without the risk, you don't grow. You stay in the same. You cannot get better. 2 + 2 is always going to be 4. You got to do something different, even though it's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing is, especially if you get direction, because a lot of times we cannot do it ourselves. I didn't start out doing it myself. You can read up all on what you want to read up on. That doesn't mean that you have to get up and go to do it.
Yeah. And I know for myself, when I started, I held on to the belief of my coach because he had a belief in what was possible. I was just holding on to his belief.
Yeah.
And he was just pulling me along, and and even like almost anything that I've done that's new, I've often held on to the belief of someone else because they saw something in me and they pulled me along, till I grew and built my own belief. And that's really what you're talking about.
Yeah. You can't just be pulled along. You have to start to believe in yourself. You have to start to take the risk.
Yeah, absolutely.
And while you're doing it, you got to be patient with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Be patient and trust, especially if you're working with someone, that if they've done it,
you can do it.
I say all the time, I've done it. I know you could do it. If I could do it, So
trust me.
It's and there's others, so many others before me. One of my idols is Jack LaLanne. Woo-hoo.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But, he's like way up there, but there's so many others. So there's something good about it, and there's something magic about it, and there's something that they're doing that you can also do to get to the same place. So that's why I go back to, You have to be patient. You have to do something different, even though it's uncomfortable. And you trust that person who's guiding you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And know that you can do it.
Absolutely. I'm going to look at the comments because,
yeah.
Sharia, that's right. Without risk, you won't grow.
That's right. Absolutely. Right on.
Cindy's saying environment is stronger than willpower. Tribe of like minds. There go, Miss Roz. Sandra's just like giving you, truths and high fives. Roz is today is my now. Yeah, it's now o'clock. It's now o'clock, Roz.
Yeah, it's now or never. Like, get on board.
And Sarita is like, I love you, Suzanne. Your guests are awesome and positive. That's you, Wendy. Awesome and positive. People are talking about opportunities to serve. So, time always flies with my guests. It's just like boom, right? But I can't, I don't want to let you go without this last question. There's probably women listening and they are at that crossroads where they're almost wanting to give up on their health, on how they're feeling about themselves. They're caught in the age conversation. They've bought the myth that beauty fades as you age. You're gonna gain weight as you age. And one of the things I love about you coming on and having these conversations, Wendy, is you're like blazing proof in what's possible. And I'll invite people, and I'll ask Wendy to give out her website after and her Facebook page. And I invite people to go to Wendy's Facebook page and see her before, and you see the after. But when you see her before, you'll see, if you're challenged, you'll see yourself in it. Mm-hmm. And so what I want you to, if you could give people 3 tips and that you can go back and say, this is what I did to start, what would they be?
Well, to get started, I had to, I needed help, but I had to trust that it could be done because I didn't believe it could be done. And that took somebody to help me. Some people can do it on their own. I'm telling you, I didn't. I had to have somebody to kind of show me the way and give myself the opportunity to do the same recipe to get to the same goal.
I got you. Yeah.
Goal. Okay. So I had to have that trust with a coach. I also decided, I made a decision to tell myself that I want to be better. I don't care how uncomfortable it is. Show me the way.
Decide to be better. I love it.
And part of that is my faith too. That keeps me in the game. It saves my life. And thirdly, I keep on pushing. I find ways. This is it. I find ways to stay motivated. Key.
And it's so that is so powerful, because I remind myself and anyone who works with me, I tell them that the competition that we're in is with the next best version of ourselves, right? It is what you want to win at is the game of each day meeting the next best version of yourself. And it doesn't have to be massive. It could be just a little bit. Right. And that's why it's so important. And I know you do this, is to have those goals. Yeah. Because those goals drive you to meet the next best version of yourself, the next best version of yourself. And the reason I don't believe in diets and the reason I don't believe in all that stuff is I believe in a goal-oriented plan around your health. So you always have something that's inspiring you to keep you moving.
That's
So you're always working.
That's right. That's what keeps me motivated. Without goals in my life, I don't think I'd be here, because I was in a depression for some time. And just aside from my life before, but some deaths that happened, that I felt, well, what's my purpose here?
Mm-hmm.
Setting those goals gave me the drive. And each time I reached them, I set another goal and another one and another one. And it keeps me pumped. So that's what I mean by finding ways to stay motivated.
Absolutely. I have been in conversation with the beautiful Wendy Ida, inside and out, total inspiration. And I got to close. She's 67 in a few days.
Go to my website.
It's a 30-day party. But she looks and acts, and she has the energy of a 40-year-old, or younger. So Wendy, for all those people that are kind of like, I know people going, I gotta go see the before. I gotta go check her out. I gotta go look. Where can they find you?
WendyIda.com. That's WendyIda.com. My Facebook is what is it? WendyIdaFitness.com. My Facebook page. So you can go like the page, and I'm putting out every single day tips and things you can do. And in month of May, 30% off on all my coaching and other exercise DVDs and my book. Oh, here's my book. Here's my book. And here's my DVD. So I got a lot of stuff going on, but I am just excited to move to the next phase of my life. And I'm very grateful for you, Suzanne, and for your audience. And I am just, I think it just makes my life better every single day.
Well, Wendy, thank you so much for sharing this time with me. So Wendy and I would get on the phone, and literally 2 hours would go by. We'd be creating all sorts of stuff. And you are such an inspiration. And you give all of us hope in what's possible. And for me, you were just evidence, because I was like, oh no, I could look just like I want to when I age. And people would be like, I remember the conversation when you hit 40, people would tell me what would happen. I'd be like, And they say, when you hit 50, they'd be telling me what's going to go on. I'd be like, no. And now so I can say, no, Wendy even said that don't have to happen. I gotta live in proof. Fine wine, baby. Fine wine.
Yeah.
Everyone. So this is what I want you to do. If you want to be updated and continue to stay in this conversation, we have beautiful guests every single week. Put challenge in the comments section so that we know that we need to reach out to you whenever we have a guest like Miss Wendy Ida. We do mindset mastery training. I deliver that every other week in between my guests. And if you guys, if anyone was on the mastermind experience last night, just put a comment in the comment section about what that experience was like, because we'll be doing another one in the near future. So put challenge in the comment section if you love what you heard with Miss Wendy Ida. I will see you next week. Wendy, you have got to come back, and because I know you got something brewing. I know you do. So when you're ready to unveil, we'll have to do another call.
Okay.
All right, hon. Love you. Thank you so much. Everyone, take care. Party! It's a party. 30 days of party. We will celebrate Wendy's birthday. You'll have to share it in our group, and we'll come party with you.
Okay.
All right.
Bye. Love you.
Love you too, hon. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. I will see you back here next Thursday. Take care, blessings, and I will talk to you soon.
Bye.